And I was going to ask you what it's like tattooing in Lawrenceville, you know, at this shop here.
Depends if you...
Is it mostly flash art, or?
I haven't done fucking flash. And, we were just talking about taking all the racks down because I don't think I've done a piece of flash.
Flash is kind of 90s. Or
I mean, it's nice for people to look at to get ideas if they, having a clue as to what they want. It's
but
like
it's usually like an appetizer before they plan something out with you.
Yeah, it's kind of nice for them to just get an idea of a direction if they happen to see something like, I want some flowers, or what do you like? Well, look at some of these, there's flowers in there, see if you see the type of flower that you like. If they didn't bother to put the time in prior to coming here with, they just know they want a tattoo.
Yeah. But what do you do the most then? Flowers?
I mostly do custom. I've been with this company 12 years. And, I've been in Lawrenceville 12 years, so I stay booked for 2 or 3 months ahead all the time.
What do you think about Manson? Did somebody in the shop do this piece right here? I'm not asking for no reason.
One of Larry's customers painted it for him.
One of his fans, customers, and do you see a lot of people with face tattoos? Is that growing? Well, I told him I wanted to do an interview. I thought I was. I guess are you camera phobic? Is this a place that doesn't allow cameras?
I just didn't know I was being taped.
My bad, man. No, that's all right. You look fine, man. Who cares?
Well, all I know is that he auditions
Yeah, I guess I do the interviews. I don't get paid. Mostly I work on rights. I think that we need to have kind of like a movement to legalize marijuana and have homeless shelter reform. And then I was kind of thinking, I mean, when it comes to tattoos, there's kind of a cultural movement that's involved where can people with piercings keep their piercings on at work? Can people that work at IHOP keep their tattoos without covering it with blue, whatever it is? But you don't put much thought into that. You just do the art.
Yeah, I'm not really concerned with whether or not somebody's boss thinks they can cook pancakes, whether or not they have a tattoo on their arm or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not into the politics, but then let me ask you.
I mean, I can't judge whether or not somebody wants to run their business or how they want people to do it. You know what I mean?
Do you do face tattoos?
I have done them. Yeah.
What do you do to decide whether to do them or not?
It just depends on whether or not they have. If you have a lot of tattoos on the face, you know what I mean?
Then you're going to be all right.
I would discourage people. I mean, I did Wiz Khalifa. I did his first tattoo.
Oh damn!
He got something on his neck.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't have any tattoos. Why are you getting this on your neck? He's like, I'll get more.
Well, so then,
he's like, I'm going to get a lot of tattoos, and then I see him. The next time I see him, he's absolutely fucking covered.
And you ate your words there, right? You said why you test him out, right?
He was just a young kid. He was like 17, 18. I think his mom or
how'd it turn out for him?
He got what he came for.
Yeah, he's huge now, right? Yeah.
And he's covered in tattoos now. So the one on his neck that I tried to tell him, like, maybe you should get it somewhere else instead of on your neck for your first one. He didn't care. It's where he wanted it. It's what he wanted to pay for, and he got it.
The people that you've tattooed on their face,
I've turned people away because I thought that they shouldn't have it or they were wanting to get it.
And how could you tell?
It's just the way that they come off with it. You know what I mean? Like either they seem undecided. A girl came in yesterday and wanted to get her eyebrows tattooed on. She was like, well, somebody told me like $900. And I was like, it's your fucking face. You know what I mean? Like, it's your face. You want $900 is cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I said, I'm not going to do it though. You know, because I don't do cosmetic. I said, find somebody to do it. She's like, yeah, but they wanted $900. I said, well, what'd you pay for those tits you have?
Okay, well,
like, how much would you pay for those titties? At least 10 grand if you wanted a good one. You know what I mean? You'd find somebody to do it for $1,000. You might have one higher than the other, bigger than the other. You know what I mean? Like,
But let's get to a tattoo that you did do on the face. I guess I'm wondering, can you think of one?
Yeah,
He has one on his face. He did it. The reason I'm asking is because I think I would discourage anyone that was young and was trying to get like bullshit on their forehead or something. But I kind of want to see less discouragement of face tattoos. I want to see from the shops as well. Did you spend a lot of time with your old apprentice? Obviously, right? There he is, man.
Here, I did the straight razor. I did his wife and his daughter's name on his eyebrows.
And where's he at now? Is he in his own shop?
He actually started his own shop up near Cranberry.
And the straight razor,
he was
is he still got it all there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen.
We were gonna do an old school like World War II bomb going down his nose. You know. But that's like, I mean, he's totally covered to the point where the only thing he can do is go over his old shitty tattoos with new tattoos and recolor the old shit because he's filled.
But he loves it.
What else is he going to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's beyond the point of whether he likes it anymore or not. It's
his life. Well, does he say it that way?
No. I mean, it's funny, though, because he has a twin brother. They're identical twins, and he has no tattoos. And you see him, you're like, oh, my God.
That would make an awesome movie, by the way. The two of them, and have the process. My name's David, man. I mean, we should make that movie. But in the future, when you talk to people that are interested in getting face tattoos, you discourage them. What is the? I mean, I want to understand that process better because I was discouraged and it frustrated me, but I got them anyway.
So people in the tattoo industry, their future is pretty much laid out. I mean, they get tattoos, they give tattoos. They're in this culture, you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to go try to get a job at the bank down the street, or they're not going to go try to be a cop, you know what I mean? Where
I wish they would sometimes.
You're not going to get a job working for the FBI with tattoos.
Or Starbucks.
You're not allowed any tattoos in the FBI.
Which is preposterous.
Well, depends on what, you know what I mean? Like, even the guy who was the head of the FBI had to hide the fact that he, liked to finger his asshole in the mirror while he was wearing women's underwear. You know what I mean?
This is
J. Edgar Hoover. But for years, I mean, he was the head of the FBI for years, and they devised all the sneaky FBI shit that they do now.
Is that in the DiCaprio movie, by the way? Like him in women's underwear?
That's the kind of shit that he did, but it wasn't like he put it on his application when he got the job, you know what I mean?
No, that's true. And people staying in the closet all the time makes sense. And J. Edgar Hoover, was a mess. Right now, the CIA is in the closet about torturing. They still torture a little bit. But I imagine that they don't.
War is war.
Yeah, no. And they might probably don't allow tattoos either because they're too distinctive. You can catch them that way or something to figure out what they're like once you mark them. But I guess I'm thinking there's nothing really wrong with it as much.
There's nothing wrong with tattooing your face or anything else if it would be permissive in your lifestyle. You know what I mean? You can't.
And if it won't, should the lifestyle change or should the culture change?
If you know your boss is not going to be cool with it and you can lose your job, you're the only one to blame if you get it.
You have to make that choice for yourself.
You know what I mean? Like, are you willing to take that step for your own, wanting to back up your own personal rights or your personal freedoms to do what you want with your body?
It's kind of like civil disobedience.
You have to deal with the repercussions of how it affects you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, you are the master of your own destiny and can make only the decisions that affect you. You have the ability to do that, but I mean, you have to deal with what,
No, it's
you
true.
have to deal with the repercussions.
No, and so I think there should be more education about what those repercussions are. But I think that,
it's like people that have been told that pedestrians have the right of way, so they walk right in the middle of the street without even looking, and there could be the green light with a truck coming.
I don't think that's a fair depiction of people that get face tattoos, because I think a lot of them know.
That feel that they just have the right to do what they want to do because they are free, but they don't understand the difference of what happens when shit don't go their way. And then they cry about it, and they expect everybody to just understand, well, I wanted it, so I'm entitled, and you should just be okay with it. And, you know, but so what if I'm the Pepsi-Cola spokesmodel? I'm going to put a big dragon on my face. And so what if you sign me to a $30 million contract? I'm going to drink Coca-Cola and Pepsi if I want. No, you're not.
Like,
you know, like guess what?
Or something.
You're
you don't
fired.
See them yeah.
You know, you're fucking fired.
But let's get out of like the extremes there, man. You know, we mentioned Wiz Khalifa and 30 million deals. People I see with tattoos work on their faces. Work minor jobs, or they're Maori, or they're of other cultures, or they just get by. I mean, most people aren't making massive money with a lot of risk. Especially people with tattoos, it's kind of this different approach. I think that analogy of crossing the street that way, I think that when it comes to tattoos, we might need to build a few more crosswalks for the culture. And that would be a good and fun activity. That's not a bad thing to do. In fact, that's an educational thing that can be really artistic. And I just wanted to...
But like I said, my whole comparison to that though is, you know, bottom line, you have the right to do what you want.
You have the right to tattoo your face. You have the right to cross the street.
Yeah.
Even if a car's coming, you know what? Don't cry and lose your job, or if you get hit by a fucking car.
Or do
whether
cry,
you think
do
you have
cry,
the
but
right
don't
to
expect us to bring the Kleenex.
Or, I mean, whether you feel you have the right to do it or not, just don't cry if you lose your job and you get hit by a car. Because
don't tell people not to cry, but yeah, you're going to cry with your own Kleenex. Buy your own Kleenex and cry alone.
Society is going to be what it's, you know, they're going to react to stuff the way they want to, just like, you know, people can, you know, people can try to want to have, you know, understanding towards whether people should get abortions or not, or whether, you know, that even just the whole racism issue. I mean, there's, you know, we're getting to the point where, you know, Caucasians are pretty much entering to be the minority anymore. You know what I mean? But I don't think they're going to start giving white people the same stuff they were giving the other minority groups that were getting aid from the government, because we've pretty much, they've bred themselves into the majority. You know
So
what
it's
I mean?
kind of like that upwards movement versus that downwards movement.
Tables are turning, and there's a major shift, but all of the stuff that was being given to the minorities in the past, because of all the oppression they went through, is, you know, they've got a lot of doors open for them. Now at the same time, being that the tables are turned, they're not going to continue to do that. You're going to be like, well, you know, you white people ran everything for years. Now that you're the minority, tough shit.
Well, I was just looking up statistics on that in this area, and Pittsburgh's still 24%, I think, African American, 24 black, like 70 something white, like 2% or less Alaskan Native or Native American, and then a certain. So it's not, you know, white people aren't in the minority here, but you go down south to Ellsworth or something, that's 96% Caucasian, and so 96%, that's no minority. So I wouldn't. Well, I mean, I wouldn't ask for special favors just yet.
I think my whole point was, I mean, I don't want to hand out at all. I mean, I'm willing to work for what I get, but at the same time, what I mean by that is that, you know, what you feel should be, what should be just, or what should be acceptable, no matter how right you think it may never be that way. You know
that's
what I mean?
true.
And
it probably won't be that way. And if you get an inch, you fight for it.
I mean, a like-minded thinking of the collective whole of our society is never going to be. It's never going to be to the point where, you know, it's going to be okay for everybody. Like, you know, like, sure, gay people should be allowed to live together and have a family or whatever, just like anything else, or, You know, but at the same time, you know, some people don't have to agree with that. The moral majority of the, you know,
the immoral majority, possibly.
The so-called moral
That's the
majority
question.
of all the
and that's the
religious
question.
sections
One of immorality.
don't have